streaming cyberspace into your place from Southern National Motorsports Park. It's the Virtual Grip Network's third round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Gargamel's Kitchen Late Model Invitational Series Season 24. Happy National Chess Day, everyone, as VGN joins the country in celebrating the game that not only challenges players mentally, but has broken down barriers through the centuries. The barrier for any late model championship has always been one J.R. Shepherd, but the 17-time crown holder missed the season opener and had a disappointing, well, by his standards, fifth at Hickory, which leaves old junk rubber 44 points behind the new king on the board, Aiden Young Gun Young. The Sicilian defense, the Queen's Gambit, are both classic opening chess moves. The opening moves for Young was to follow up a second place at New Smyrna with a win at Hickory. But this breaking news just in. Young may have been castled over because as of yet, his number 69 has yet to be on track. A third and fourth has Kenny's Kitties pieces well positioned on the board, just 4 points behind the point leader Young. And if the season 18 champ can avoid being checkmated from a missed race down the line, there's a good chance the competition may be tilting their king in his direction. The queens have been placed on their own color. All the pieces have been arranged accordingly, so pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for some strategic excitement of simulated short track racing action about to be streamed your way. From the state that launched and landed the first heavier-than-air powered flight, a warm Tar Heel state hello and welcome on this Saturday night, October 14th, 2023. Ricky, hard-in-the-wall Harden, joins yours truly, Bill Soupson, hi, up in the BGN broadcast booth to bring you our bird's eye view. We play Ryan Seneker, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. Okay, Ricky, it's 100 laps on tap tonight. No tire changes, no fast repairs. That's typical for a BRL event. In the opening, we talked about a little bit about the drivers. Let's talk a little bit about the track.
Yeah, you know, this high bank bull ring out here in eastern North Carolina is always a fun one to watch the late model stocks on. I really like the way they get around here. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold side by side all night long. We'll see how well that top line hangs in there. It tends to fade late in the race, but be a very viable option early in the race. So we'll just see what those guys can do, and if anybody can make it work all night long. It's yet to be seen.
Put on a pretty good show last night in the SK Modified event. We'll see if it follows up again tonight. And you know, tonight's broadcast is made possible thanks to Gargamel's Kitchen. They're a high-quality food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit them at 2045 South Valencia Street or give Gargamel Kitchen a call at 720-707-6178. And put your middle finger and your thumb together, snap along with me. Gargamel's Kitchen is the best. Everyone else is just the rest. Quickly, while practice is going on, let's take a quick look at the points. With Jeffrey Kemper, Austin Belkey, Chris Davis, and J.R. Shepherd all making their season debut at Hickory while the music is turned off, the number of drivers to have raced at least once this season grows to 28, with 16 having raced in both events. You know, Aiden Young Gun Young, who's still not here, is the only driver still incident-free after 2 races. Well, he'll remain incident-free if he doesn't race tonight. Despite his position in the standings, Kenny Kimmy has yet to lead a lap. Joe Snyder led 39 laps at Hickory, earning him a third. Stephen Spees bested that by leading 41. John Wilson was the big climber, up a dozen spots. A Hickory 11th was good enough to move Bruce Pearson up 1 position. Well, the bloom is off the Brian Dean Rose as an opening season win was followed up by a withered 18th. To his regret, Donnie Moore leads all drivers in collected incident points, and Trey Bloom holds station in 10th. Well, the business is almost out of the way, but we got to introduce Ricky Harden to one of the favorite segments, certainly a fan favorite, and that is the Soup of the Day Over Under. And tonight, we are talking about Daryl Weinerker. And Simon and Poindexter, back in the smoke-filled Vegas casinos, have put the number for Daryl Weinerker, Ricky, at 11.5. Bet the under if you think he'll finish 11th or better. Bet the over if you think he'll do 12th or worse. What say you?
Ooh, man, this is such a tough call in a race like this. It's a pretty healthy field. Lots of cars out there. He'll be starting back in the 19th position. Typically, kind of a mid-pack guy at a track like this. I think that we could have enough attrition that it gets there, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with the over on that.
With the over, well, we'll mark you down. Don't worry about being wrong. Most of the times, my commentator mates are. With that said, let's go to run through the field. Ricky and I will take it a row at a time. I'll take the front row. Sitting on the pole position, it is the number 55 of Steven Spies. He's going to be inside of Trey Bloom.
Yep, starting on row number 2, the 81, Joe Segala on his outside, Bruce Pearson.
Austin Belke in the 24 is going to be inside of Donnie Moore.
Lowell Jewell in 7th with Chris Davis to his outside.
Row 5 is populated by Adam Shane. Watch him work his way through the field. And old junk rubber, J.R. Shepard in 10th.
Kenny Kibbe in 11th. Joseph Snyder in 12th.
Baker 7th spot goes to John Wilson with Aiden Young. He's here outside of him in 14th.
He is not on the track, though. So we've got Brian Den and Matt Shinowski will be sliding up there.
Todd Liston and Daryl Weinerker go 18th and 19th. Weinerker, our spotlighted driver.
Ruben Altice and Jeffrey Harden, my brother from another mother there, starting P20.
And let me just wrap these up. Matt Hoos, John Hine, Mike Allen, Aiden Young back there, and Young is Ruben Altice there as well. We go green. Chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler, hi-de-ho! And it is Steven Spies. Out in front, we got an early caution.
Yes, we do. Car around over there in the middle of turns 1 and 2, and it's J.R. Shepard. Bad news for J.R. Shepard right from the get-go. This is going to make this race interesting.
This is an accordion effect that I think starts with the 26 on the outside line. The 26 checks up. Davis in the 7 checks up. That gets into J.R. Shepard. And then with a solid hit, it's the butcher of Baton Rouge, Joe Snyder, turns Shepard around. Well, you never see Shepard get that high. That's going to be, I don't know, these cars are tough. I don't know if that car can come back from that move.
Well, he's still out there making laps, but man, that was heavy contact. And you're right. We don't see cars get that high that often here at the track, at the Bull Ring at Southern National. And to make matters worse, he is trapped behind the pace car right now, so he's going to have to get a wave around and be at the very tail end. Look at that hit right there. Man, right up into the air. Damage on all 4 corners.
Let's go ahead and dial up the number 98. We don't often get a chance to talk to him when he's so far back in the pack. Let's see if the car is drivable. Don't sure if you'll know. JR, it's Soup. Is the car still raceable?
Not sure, to be honest. It said I had wheel damage, so yeah, we'll see. It's unfortunate. I don't know what happened, but I checked up and nobody else did.
Yeah, it was a checkup that started 2 or 3 cars in front of you on the outside lane, and it got back to you. You could kind of see it coming. When will you know if the car's raceable?
Yeah, we'll see these opening laps, what the car feels like. It sucks not having a faster pair, having damage on lap 1, but we'll see what we got here.
All right, we've seen you do some amazing things. You got your work cut out for you tonight. Thanks a lot.
Yep, thanks, Soup. Have fun.
Pull back the curtain here on VGN. I was supposed to give the second question to my partner, and still getting used to that. Sorry about that, Ricky. We'll get the next one right.
No problem at all, man. Yeah, that's right. There he goes. Gets waved around the pace car. He'll rejoin the tail end of the field, and we'll see what kind of speed he has.
All right, speaking of speed, well, rather Spies, we're going to talk about Steven Spies right now. Started on the pole. He's got the 32 of Trey Bloom on his outside. Bloom hanging on just inside the top 10 in points. Spies not used to racing from up front. He's going to be hard to get around. Now we're going to go green, this time for real. Working lap number 7 is Steven Spies. Bloom tucks into second position, about a little farther back behind. This will tell us a lot, Ricky, inside or outside. It's Segala in the 81 and the 24 of Belke on the outside. Be fun to see how this works out.
That's right. Right now he's hanging tough out there, and it really looks like he wants to get that spot so he can get down in line there in front of the 81 and try to hang on to his tires, but not quite clear going into 3, side by side all the way through 3 and 4. 81 gives him a lot of room there off of turn 4, and that might give him just enough. Let's see if he can get the run off of turn 2 here.
This is good racing. He got such a great drive off of 4 and off of 2, but he just can't get the job done before he enters 1 and 3. This time maybe in his best position so far. I'll spot for him. Clear! All right, and Austin Belke tucks down into 3rd position. Now they are single file all the way back. We don't see a car running on the outside until we get back to maybe the 75 of John Wilson, and he gets that tucked in as well. Uh-oh, we got one stuck up on top, and this may be bad news for Adam Shane. Shane able to get back down.
That was a pretty aggressive move to get back in line, but you got to do it. the tire wear is so bad when you're on the top line early in the race like this that you just don't want to get stuck up there. Joseph Snyder now stuck on the outside as Todd Liston looks underneath of him.
I'm telling you, I saw Liston run a great race last night. I don't want to be a spoiler in case you haven't seen the event yet. Go ahead and watch that one. Liston certainly was impressive. He's got his 87 down. He got underneath Joseph Snyder, and now he's looking to get that thing done. Watch out for Liston. He has been surprisingly quick. Another car to keep an eye on is back there, the number 75 of John Wilson, trying to get under Snyder as well. Snyder trying his very best to get down in there. There's room, but now he's there.
Yep, he made it happen. Get back in line right there. And he's got a little bit of damage from that first lap incident as well. He's the one that got turned sideways and kind of hooked J.R. Shepard. Up there in front, we've got a little bit more action going on. They're almost 3 wide going down into turn number 1. That was close.
We look there. That's on the top side. That's Donnie Moore. In the black and blue machine underneath, that's Lowell Jewell. Gets the 20. Look at the drive that Jewell gets off the inside. Next on his hit list is Mr. Aggressive, number 7, Chris Davis. Davis gets down there. Well, you know, Ricky, we were wondering if it was going to be even the top line or the bottom line. From what I'm seeing, it looks like the bottom line is the preferred line.
I wholeheartedly agree, but I really think that a big reason for that is you don't want to push really, really hard when you're on that outside line right now because you're trying to save for those tires and make them last. Now, if you see an opportunity that you can get a hole, if you're aggressive, then you try to take it. I think that's when that outside line might come into use. But right now, I think people kind of take it easy when they get up there. Number 7 lost a little momentum off of turn 2, and we've got a battle with Lowell Jewell on the inside of him in 3 and 4. So great racing going on inside the top 10.
We were watching that before. We thought that Jewell was making a move, and then we talked about the hit list and the number 7 being on it. He's going to try to get there. He's also going to try to bring in Kenny Kibbe as well. The 14 of Kibbe, always competitive. Look at the 7, get to the top side. He drifts up there. Is it a matter of the line being dirty, or is this just you can't get grip up there, Ricky?
Honestly, it does look really dirty right now. And right there, Chris Davis got really high off of turn 4, and I think he lost all his momentum going that high. As you see the 14 get under him as well.
We're going to leave this battle real quick to something that you just never see. Let's go ahead and look at the number 98 of J.R. Shepard. We've seen J.R. Shepard this far ahead of the pack before, but it's unusual that he is the last car on the lead lap. We were wondering, Ricky, if the car was drivable. I think his pace kind of answers the question.
Yeah, he's about half a second a lap consistently off of the lead car's pace. And that is not something you ever see out of J.R. Shepard. So it's really unusual to see. And I think he's hoping for a caution here in the next couple laps. So maybe he can get a little damage repair. But the unfortunate thing about this track is you don't get hardly any time on pit road to fix any damage. And he is going to go a lap down in the next 2 laps if it doesn't come out.
I want to take you back to the 87. This guy continues to race strong. This is Todd Liston again. We saw him get around some drivers. He just got underneath the quiet Adam Shane. Shane does a little hucklebuck, a little dipsy-do, a little hokey-doke, a little up and under, and he's going to come underneath him now, and that's what's going to change, I think.
Yeah, Shane gets to run down there, and they're side by side coming off of turn number 4. Battle behind him as well. This is getting really racy back here. These guys jockeying for position and trying to get up to the front as fast as they can. There's a lot of side-by-side racing throughout the field. Look at that. Oh, man, that's tight going through 3 and 4. The caution comes out, and he spins off of turn 4.
And he collects Hoos, who was making a great run through the field. That was Adam Shane that got loose. Snyder got a little piece of it as well. Boy, we had the camera right on where the action was. The guy that got away clean out of all of that was Todd Liston. It might be fun to take another... We'll watch the spin from over top, and then maybe we can look at it from Liston's point of view.
So this is what actually brought out the caution on the back stretch. They got together back there, Darrell Weiniger and a couple of other guys, Mike Allen there on the outside of him, and then he got piled into by a couple others. So the caution flew for that. And then meanwhile, we were watching the battle between those guys through 3 and 4 and off of turn 4. There you go. The 79 gets a little bit of contact in the rear end there, going right through the center of 3 and 4 and loses it off the corner. And a couple guys with just nowhere to go.
Well, that's why VGN pays for 2 commentators, because you and I were both watching incidents, but they were happening on different parts of the track. 2 unrelated incidents, correct?
Yeah, and actually the contact between Shane and Todd Liston really happened about the same time that crash on the backstretch was happening. So they really got started around the same time, but this isn't the one that brought out the caution.
Let's dial up Todd Liston right now and talk to him. He's picked up 8 positions, and he was able to avoid this one. I'll do the first question as we bring in number 87, Todd Liston. Todd, you got a good view of that one. I think you got away clean, right?
Well, no, uninvolved with the caution. I got into Adam a little bit. He got a little roughed up there. Looks like he's doing all right, but I'm sorry to him.
Ricky?
Yeah, Todd, it looked like you guys were racing really hard right there for a couple of laps, going back and forth at him, and just walk us through what happened going into turn 3.
Well, I was trying to duck in, get behind him, and get slowed up behind him, and, keep space in front of Matt back there, and I think I just nicked him just a little bit, and he was trying to pick it up, and he was having a hard time with it, and that's on me. Got into the back over.
And well, good luck out there. It looks like he's not too much worse for the wear, and he's lining up right where he belongs, right in front of you. So no harm, no foul, I think.
They're doubling up right now, coming out of 4. I think maybe Todd Liston might have been a little hard on himself. Not sure if there was all his doing on that one. We're going to go green, our leader. He's led the entire way. Steven Spies has got the inside line. Let's see now what Trey Bloom can do. Bloom has had a great job of hanging on to second position. He's had both the start and the 2 restarts on the outside of row 1, and he's been able to hang on to that one. This time, though, I think that Belke in the 24 might be in the catbird position. Is he going to close the deal? Let's see if Bloom can tuck down into 3rd. I think there's room, and he is there. Nice little battle going farther on behind. That's Segala on the outside, the number 22 of Bruce Pearson in the yellow and black machine.
Yep, pretty orderly up there in the top 3 or 4 positions, but Kenny Kibbe underneath that Joe Segala machine, he's going to clear him coming out of turn number 2. Segala didn't really have a place to get down. Lowell Jewell, who goes to the inside of him as well, and they are stacked up side by side for 3 rows deep right behind him. This is getting very racy back here in the back half of the top 10.
Lowell Jewell has only picked up 1 position, but it seems like I've seen him make at least 2 or 3 passes on track, so he must have had a bad start. Right now he tucks back in. Boy, you see the racing going on behind Matt Hoos. That is Mr. Aggressive, number 7 in that blue and yellow machine. He's got in there in that position. He's going to slot down into 9th spot. And you talked about Matt Hoos. Well, let me tell you, he is up 14 spots, and I guess the car's still feeling pretty good. Now he's right behind Adam Shane. He'd like to get this past me cleanly. They got together a few laps ago.
Yeah, that's right. I think I think he's looking like he's very strong coming through the field tonight. I don't know what caused him to grid that far back, but Matt Hoos looking really, really good out there, like maybe even a top 3 car. So the 79, we talked about the damage that he sustained earlier right there as the caution came out of Adam Shane, and it looks like maybe it's slowing him up just a little bit because he had a little bit more pace before that, but we'll see if it's just a little bit of him feeling it out right now.
Okay, we've done a good job of covering the action through the field. Right now, we're going to take you up front. We're going to get away from that side-by-side battle because I got a hunch that Belke has run down Spies and he is hunting them now. And if Belke can get around Spies, he might be tough to catch. Look at the different racing line from Belke behind, trying to find some type of momentum, I guess.
Yeah, I believe that he has Spies running a little bit scared. Going into turn 1, it looked like Steven Spies was taking a little bit more of a defensive line going down into turn number 1 just to protect because the 24 got a little bit of a run there coming off the turn 4. They are very close to each other right here. The 24 looks like he has all the speed in the world right now.
We have jumped you around so much. We're going to go ahead and focus on the leaders a little bit, let you catch your breath. And we'll see how Belke runs here. Now, Belke's a veteran. He knows that he has 56 laps to get this done, so there's really no hurry. I don't think, though, he's comfortable being in 2nd right now. When you got the odd and even ferries, I think he'd really like to get this done. So if there were a yellow flag, he'd be starting on the preferred inside line. Right now, if there were a yellow, he'd have to start outside.
Yeah, you never want to do that. You got to be so aggressive when you start in that 2nd position because you don't want to lose additional spots as you get caught on the outside line if you're just not aggressive enough. So he's definitely trying to get that lead. I don't think he wants to waste any time. But they look to have evened out right now. Speeds did a really good job defending there when Belke was trying to make a run at him. And now it looks like Speeds is holding his own.
And we're looking at a pass, and this is important. This is Kenny Kibbe, started in 11th. He is a former champion in this race car. He just made it around Trey Bloom, who's done a really yeoman's-like job of keeping that car up in the top 5. Kibbe now not only gets that pass made, but he moves into 3rd. And I'm telling you right now, Austin Belke is smart enough to know that Kibbe, who certainly has pace, is now going to be starting on the inside of row 2 if the yellow comes out. That's only going to make Belke more hungry for that lead spot.
Yeah, and there you go. You see him being a little bit more aggressive, and it doesn't help the fact that Kibbe has run a 10th faster than both of those 2 leaders the last 2 laps in a row, and you can visibly see him closing that gap as the 24 of Belke gets to the back bumper of Speeds there in the middle of 3 and 4. He is ready to take that lead. He is ready to pounce. He's just, there's the caution flag. Something happened over here in the middle of 3 and 4, or on the front straightaway, I believe.
I think Snyder, the Ribeye Joe Snyder, just gets loose on his very own, as if Kibbe maybe sent him a check in the mail. Snyder goes around and doesn't hit the inside wall. We look at the 39, and that's just the yellow flag that Kenny Kibbe was hoping for.
Yeah, now he'll get to restart on the inside of that second row, and we saw the last 2 or 3 laps how much more speed he had than the 2 leaders in front of him. This should be a really interesting restart.
Let's dial up Austin Belke in the 24 and see if we actually were inside his helmet, if he's aware that Kibbe had made it up into 3rd. Austin Belke, it's soup. We're talking in the booth that maybe you got a little more aggressive to get around Speeds as soon as you saw Kibbe move into 3rd position. Is the even odds situation anything to worry about?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I didn't get aggressive on Steven just because I saw Kenny back there. I just got close enough to him. I felt like I was within range to pounce on him. But I think there's a lot to be worried about if you're on the top line or the bottom line.
Austin, what's your strategy on this restart? You're going to restart on the outside. Are you going to try to get the lead from the outside, or are you going to try to find a hole as quickly as you can to get down behind the leader?
Well, it all depends on the car behind Steven, right? It's Kenny. I know he's going to get a good restart no matter what. So pretty much my only hope is that either A, Kenny missed a ship and I can get down, or B, I just have to try and take the lead on the outside.
All right. Well, we're gonna be anxious to see how it works out. Thank you for the interview, Austin, and good luck out there.
No problem. Yeah, thank you guys. Enjoy the show.
It's fun to hear inside. I love that we get to talk to these drivers. All right, I feel the angst of all the Hoosinators out there that we have not been covering the charge from Matt Hoos from 22nd to 6th. We'll bring it up right now. Now, he's going to be starting outside of Lowell Jewell, who also has been racing very competitively. I've seen many a pass on the track. We'll talk to Lowell. He must have fallen back there because he's picked up spot after spot after spot. Keep an eye on the 21. Why is he starting so far back? Well, it's not because of penalty. He was a no-show last time at Hickory. So when they invert the field, if you're not here, you got to start way at the end. All right, Steven Spies has led 55 laps. That's the same number that's on the hood of his car. Well, it's number 56 right now. He's out there in front now. Look at the battle for second. Oh, Belke, I knew he was in trouble, Ricky. And sure enough, Kenny Kibbe now moves up into second.
You know, I really think that was all Steven Spies. He snookered him on the restart there. He got a really early start, and he got away fast. And that's what the 14 really wanted to see of Kenny Kibbe, because now he has that, clear track just to clear the 24 machine before he even got to turn number 1. But luckily for Austin Belke, he had a big gap there to slot into the 3rd place, so that worked out okay. But now we get to see if Kibbe can run down Spies and do something with him.
It's single file all the way back. I'm going to drop you back to the number 21 car. This is Matt Hoos. He's now got to the inside, working inside of Trey Bloom. Bloom continues to keep that car as far up as he can. Little by little he falls. But every time Bloom gets to the outside, like right now, he's able to tuck back down so he doesn't have to bleed a whole bunch of positions. Meanwhile, Hoos has put himself up into 5th on the inside part if he gets another yellow flag, He's got a way to go to catch up to another driver, Lowell Jewell. All of this going on behind the two guys up front. Let's look at Kibbe, who's trying high. He's trying low, working both sides of the street like a jaywalking milkman. Gets a great drive off. He's going to try to make the outside work as he tries to go around the top of Speeds. The car gets loose. No, he didn't get loose. He let the back end rotate. Now he gets underneath Speeds. What great car control from Kenny Kibbe.
Yeah, Kibbe really tried a couple laps in a row there to kind of fade high on entry, run that high line in the middle of 1 and 2, and then duck low off the corner. And Spees tried to cover that. He tried to be really aggressive with defensive driving and not give him that inside lane. But Kibbe got there. There's nothing that Spees could do going down the front straightaway. Side by side they are for the lead. And Spees has been racing so hard with Kibbe that I don't think he's going to be able to cover the third position.
No, he's going to lose that one. And here comes Lowell Jewell, who continues to climb up. Boy, I'm telling you, I saw Kibbe get the 14.
Oh,
They're all going around.
Who's going to go around? That track is blocked.
Right in front of Hoos. It's Spees and Lowell Jewell and Hoos get together, and the whole crowd piles in. The first car to get out of there, the 22, manages to get by. So does Davis. They escape out of the way. Davis is going to be slotted into what will be like 5th position. They're still trying to get the car sorted out as the leaders have come around on them. Oh, my, Ricky.
Yeah, Spees really tried to aggressively get down into the lane there, and Lowell wasn't really having any of it. And I don't know if Lowell had the line there. It was pretty tight. But, man, the big loser in all of that is definitely Matt Hoos. He really took some hard contact to the side of those guys and then got piled into from behind. Here it is. Lowell really shoves it in there. Yeah, he was to the inside. I mean, he hit the left rear, and then he gets contact from Hoos, who had nowhere to go as the two checked up in front of him. And then you can see Hoos get contact from behind, gets scooped up into the air a little bit. And then watch this. Here comes more guys, and Hoos is going to get hit right into the right front tire. Man, that is going to make that car not drive well for the rest of this race.
Let's take an onboard look before we leave this through the windshield of Chris Davis, who was the first car on the scene to make it by. He ducks to the top side, and somehow he avoids the carnage. He'll be right on board with Davis. You be the driver. I'm going to go up here.
Oh.
And there's
Great job visualizing what was happening and just letting go of that wheel and letting it cut back to the right there. That's hard to do at a track like this.
Let's check on the pace car and see if they're going to leave the lights on. If they come, if the lights stay on, we're going to dial up Chris Davis. If not, we don't want to bother him this late. And no, the lights are coming off, so we'll let Davis go ahead and figure it out. Getting the wave around is the 87 of Todd Liston. He'll be in 15th position as we have, I guess, 15 cars on the lead lap. There's still Sol and Lowell Jewell on the lead lap as well. He's also got a wave around. Not sure why they gave 2.
Well, both of them were just trapped behind the pace car.
High behind the pace car.
They were in front of the leader. Here comes the green flag. Up front, the 14 machine is your leader. Going down to the turn number 1, Kenny Kibbe.
Kenny Kibbe, former champion.
Belke can get down.
Belke now, who was out in front for a while. Actually, I'm not sure if Belke never actually did get out in front. He tried, but he could never get there. So Kibbe was able now to lead what will be his 8th lap.
That's right, and Belke really just trying to pressure him all he can, but no, caution is back out again. Every time we talk about these guys racing up front, something happens back there, and there's a car backwards on the back straightaway. It's Joe Segala. Segala
got into the back of Adam Shane and checked up, and then he got turned. I think that was the 70 of Ruben Altice got him.
That's exactly right. I think your analysis is spot on right there. Just a little bit of a checkup, and it resulted in Joe Segala being backwards on the back straightaway.
Now we'll get a chance to talk to the number 7. Let's see if he can remember what happened before this yellow. The yellow before this one is the evasive action that he took. We dial up Chris Davis here real quick as he races in 4th position up from 8th. Chris, it's soup. We're going to take you back, not this caution, but the one before where you made a move to the top side. Woo, nice move.
Thank you. That was, the top's not great, but it pinches the guy down on the bottom. They can't get on the gas hard, so I don't know which lane you want to be in, really.
Well, you're going to be starting outside here in row number 2. Trey Bloom's done a great job of keeping that car up front. How's your car? Are you still clean?
Yeah, I only have like 4X. I think my car is pretty clean. I'm getting good starts, so we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, I can squeeze him in front of Bruce Pearson. We'll see.
Ricky?
Yeah, Chris, that was an impressive move to get around that accident. Now that there's been so much attrition up here, what do you think your chances are?
Fair to Midland. Everybody ahead of me is probably better in these cars than I am. I'm afraid I burned my right front a little bit. We'll see what we can do here on the restart. Yeah, I saw that wreck unfolding, and I went to the high side hoping they wouldn't slide up and clean me out, and I just got lucky. That's the only reason why I'm front, guys.
Well, that was a good heads-up move, and wish you luck going forward. Should be one to go here at the line.
Chris Davis started in 8th, up in 4th. Okay, all you viewers who play the drinking game of when Soup asks the second question on the interview, well, you've had 2 now. I'm done now, though, so put the cap on the bottle. We're done. I got this figured out. Right now, the guy who's really got it figured out is the 14 of Kenny Kibbe. He started in 11th position. He is all the way to the front. He's got himself 23 more laps between him and his first win of the season. We go green, working lap number 78. Kibbe able to get to the lead. Belke able to tuck into second. Tip of the hat to Trey Bloom. He's fallen back, but he's kept the car clean. He's looking for his first podium, out there trying to make the car as wide as he can. Wider than a Julia Roberts smile right now is what Trey Bloom is trying to do. But, man, he's got a man with Mr. Aggressive right behind him. And it sounds like the 7 that we just talked to might have podium visions here.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that comment. Trey Bloom, I think he's been very conservative with this race. He's tried to slot in the line. He's let guys go, and they were being aggressive with him. And he's just driven a really smart race, and it's put him in this position where he's at now. And I think he might do more of the same when he sees that 7 car up his rear bumper.
You look at the tower, 15 cars on the lead lap, the last one being Joe Segala. He's in that lucky position to be on the pole next time around. But we're not going to think about next week. We're thinking about right now. Here comes Davis underneath Bloom. Bloom gets a good drive off the top. Davis trying to make that number 7 get underneath there. Not going to happen yet. This is all going behind the 2 cars up in front, which really seem to be settling in position, Kibbe and Belke.
Yeah, Kibbe and Belke look to be the class of the field right now. Davis getting a run off of turn number 4 right here. Let's see if he can get back to the inside of the 32 machine. He's going to take it. The 32 really, again, like I said earlier, he played a little bit conservative, left the lane open. He probably could have closed the door, chose not to, and he's going to live to race another day.
So here's the news for Davis now as he moves up into 3rd position. If there were to be another yellow flag, that's more bad news for Austin Belke, because certainly it looks like the 7 has the chops to give Belke a run for that 2nd position. Not sure if anybody has anything for Kenny Kibbe right now as he continues to start to cook with hot fish grease as he opens up about a 4-car length lead on Belke with less than 15 laps to go.
Yeah, those 2 out front, Kibbe and Belke, they just look really, really good right now. I don't think anybody's going to be touching them. But Kibbe, the last 2 laps, has really started to open it up on Belke. The last 2 laps, each one of them, he has opened up a 1/10 of a second over Austin Belke. Chris Davis, he's running about the same lap times as Belke, so I don't see him closing the gap right now. But you know what a lot of guys do when they get into a position they like that 3rd place position when they know they can restart on the inside? They just back it down a little bit, take care of those tires, and save them for a restart in case you get one late.
We're looking at some battles a little farther back. That was Shane we were watching. He got in front of the 87 of Todd Liston. There's a few drivers I think merit a little bit of love. Let's start with the 31 of Matt Shinowski, currently in 8th position. He is up in 9 spots. He's been very quiet. I think he probably got caught up in a few of those incidents. But the guy who has really been on the move is former champion Jeffrey Harden in the 36.
Yeah,
the
Jeffrey
husband
Harden.
of Brandy. Yeah, here he goes.
Jeffrey Harden in a great battle there on the bottom of the 22 machine, and Bruce Pearson there on the outside of him. They've been side by side for several laps. Harden finally going to clear him coming down the back straightaway, and I think the 22 machine is going to be stuck on the outside line, and the 23 really drifts up the track right there coming through 3 and 4. Didn't give the 22 machine a lot of room, but they both live on. They both fight on, still side by side. That's Brian Den and Matt Shinowski there.
Brian with a win to open the season. And then I think the 22, Ricky, don't lose that number. I think it's the 22 of Bruce Pearson that he's battling with Shinowski looking on from behind.
Yep, you're right. Yep. I lost track of Bruce up there, but man, He is hanging in there on that top line. He's really making it work, and we don't see a lot of cars in this field doing that. Meanwhile, up in front of him, Jeffrey Harden gets to the inside of the 32 machine as well. Trey Bloom losing another spot, and Jeffrey Harden going to clear him off of turn number 4.
Too little, too late for Harden, but nevertheless, he started inside of Matt Hoos, 21st, and Hoos was in 22nd. Both of those drivers made their way up through the field. Misfortune found Hoos. Harden was able to avoid all the chaos, and Brandy, your man's sitting in 4th right now. He's got a long way to go to get to Davis.
Yeah,
Davis
he's
needs
hoping,
a yellow flag.
He's hoping for, both of those guys really are hoping for a yellow flag, because I think they might have a little bit more left in the tank that those guys up front, they're hoping they don't have. Still a side-by-side battle going back here with Bruce Pearson in the 23 machine. And, oh, man, Pearson gets a little contact from the 23, and he's going to get hit. There's going to be a yellow flag right here. The 87 machine goes around.
And we do get the yellow. That's what it is. And we were just about to show you that Kibbe had a huge gap on Belke, who had a huge gap on Davis, who had a huge gap on Harden, who had a huge gap on Bloom. Well, erase all those gaps. They're going to be bunched up right now.
Yeah, man, Bruce Pearson had been really trying to make that outside line work, and what he did is he was pinching the 23 machine down to the very bottom of that bottom lane, and when he did that, he kind of nerfed off of the side of him, went up into the outside wall, and the 87 machine comes along. Todd Liston with just nowhere to go, gets into him, and then Lowell Jewell kind of knocks him around. So we're going to get our green-white checkered attempt.
Give a second to talk to Jeffrey Harden, who has worked his way from 21st to 4th. I think I don't know if he's going to be happy with this caution or not. Jeffrey, I know that the caution wipes out the gap to the guys up front, but it also brings Trey Bloom in behind you. Are you happy with that caution, or would you just like to see it go green all the way?
Yeah, I want my shot at the podium. I figure why not?
Ricky?
Yeah, Jeffrey, it looked like you had a little bit more in the tank for those guys up front. What do you think about restarting from that top lane?
I'm hoping it's pretty good. Last night it didn't turn out so good for me on the restart, but maybe have my brother from another mother in the booth might bring me some luck.
Well, I wish you all the luck, man. You and the 7 there of Chris Davis both had a huge gap to those 2 leaders. Been the class of the field all night, but wish you a lot of luck. Hopefully you can make something happen here on this restart.
All right, thank you, Ricky.
As far as we can tell on the VGN family tree, there is no relation between the 2 Hardens, the one in the booth and the one on the track.
Absolutely none.
We do enjoy it right now. All right. Well, I do like the optimism and the aggressiveness of Jeffrey saying, I want my chance at the podium. So a realistic optimism. He's saying, I want my chance at the win, because I think Kenny Kibbe feeling pretty comfortable right now.
Absolutely across the line, double up right here. He wasn't going to get to the podium without a yellow flag, and I think this is his only chance at it, right? So
yeah, the man who might be the happiest about this is indeed the number 7, who has a real legitimate shot to get into the inside of the 24. And the 24 is going to be happy if he can get a podium, as he's got to worry about losing a spot back there to Trey Bloom. We go green. Here we go. 3 laps. First one around, it's going to be Kibbe.
Kibbe clears into the lead. The 24 machine, Austin Belke, gets down in line right behind him. Coming back to the white flag. They are single file up front, double file all the way back behind him. But it's Austin Belke diving it into turn number 1, coming off of 2. He's close enough. Is he going to make something happen through 3 and 4?
Out of quarter number 4. Now we see the white flag, if I have this right.
Nope. That's the checkered
flag.
That was it.
I never know how these green light checkers work. Okay. Give the win to Kenny Kibbe. Aussie Belke gets 2nd. And Chris Davis was able to lock into 3rd position. Harden wanted a chance at the podium, was not able to get there. Oh my goodness, this was an exciting one. 3 different races this season, 3 different winners. The racing is over, the broadcast is on. We'll take a short break, we'll come back, and Ricky and I will run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we hand you your hat. Don't go far, you're watching the VGM. Welcome back to Southern National Motorsports Park and VGN's third round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League Gargamel's Kitchen Late Model Invitational Series Season 24. Well, the lead commentator wanted to go one extra lap, but they said green, white, checkered, that's 2, and that's when they threw the flag, and we're going to give you the finishing order right now of the 24 drivers that took the grid. He started in 11th position, worked his way to the front. He led 41 laps out of the 100, and we're talking about Kenny Kibbe, former champion, picks up the win. Austin Belke will have to settle for second. Chris Davis made a nice charge through the field. He'll settle for third. Jeffrey Harden, again, 21st to 4th. Then it was Brian Dean, Trey Bloom, Ruben Altice, Matt Shinowski up 11 spots to get to 8th position. Kurt Smith, very quiet, not sure if he got any screen time, will go in 9th. And Bruce Pearson in the double duck goes in 10th. Ricky, who's after that?
Finishing in the 11th position, Lowell Jewell. He was having a little bit of an up and down day. He was all over the place, but he ended up in 11th position. Joe Segala back to 12th after having a little bit of trouble late in the race. Joseph Snyder, 13th. J.R. Shepard never had a chance from the word go. Finishes 14th. Last car on the lead lap. 15th, Steven Spies. Todd Liston, John Wilson, Mike Allen, Adam Shane, John Hine in the P20.
And then we wrap up in blackjack position, Matt Hoos, Donnie Moore, Bobby Hayes. Our spotlighted driver, well, we didn't get much chance to spotlight him as he was only able to complete 26 laps, Daryl Weinecker. So, Ricky Harden is a winner at the pay window there as he picks the over on that one. And then Aiden Young was a no-show. There you have it. With that said, let's go ahead and talk to some of the drivers. I get the honor of talking to our race winner, Kenny Kibbe, as he was able to work his way up from 11th to 1st. Kenny, took you a while to get there, but the last, what would it be, I guess, 41 laps, you were able to bring it home.
Yeah, for sure. Just had to be kind of methodical to get up through there and take my time and not do anything regrettable. And yeah, just kind of once we got up into a decent spot, we had plenty of time. So I just tried to be smart about it and stay smooth and hit my marks, and it all worked out.
During the broadcast, we note when a driver that we think is on the move but is stuck in an even position. You were in 4th position a long time. I think you might have been behind Trey Bloom and you wanted that spot. Is that something you think about while you're out there? Says, I'm in 4th, I really don't want to be stuck on the outside line, or were you not worried about it?
No, I don't worry about it. I mean, some guys are to the point where they'll actually let somebody go just to be an odd-numbered spot, and I'm not like that. I see every spot as an opportunity, so I just try to get up as high as I can, and if we have a caution I'm on the outside, well, sometimes that can even be an opportunity. So I just try to get every spot that I can, and if I am not in the preferred line on the restart, I just do damage control and just try to slip in line, or once in a while even gain a spot or two. So yeah, I'm just always trying to move forward.
All right, you're a former champion behind the wheel of this car. Is it too early to start thinking championship?
It's mainly going to depend on like scheduling and things like that, if I can make all the races. So this was a big win for me, though. It's my first win in this like new version of the late model. So like I said a few weeks ago in an interview, I really figured this car out just recently and feel really good about it. Like tonight, the car just felt great. So if I can show up every week, yeah, I'm pretty confident we can contend for the title, but it'll just come down to whether or not we can show up every week.
Got it. All right. Well, good luck. We hope to see you for the next 8 races. We'll see you down the road. Kenny Kibbe, your winner tonight. All right, Ricky, I think you're going to try to run down the number 24 of Austin Belke.
That's exactly right. Austin Belke finishes in the 2nd position, up 3 spots from the start. Austin, we saw you on the back end of Spies for most of that the first half of the race, pressuring Spies, looking like you might get the lead, and then here comes Kibbe behind you. What were you thinking then?
Not much you can do. This is a Kenny's track. I mean, there's certain places where, JR is the fastest, or certain places where Kenny's the fastest, there's certain places where JR is still the fastest, but I'm a little bit faster than Kenny, and this is one of Kenny's tracks. No one comes between Kenny and the trophy here very often, except maybe JR.
Well, you ran a great race. You looked like you might be one of the guys to beat early on, and even late, you had a couple shots at him, but Kenny just did a perfect job getting up off the corner. Is there anything else you think you could have done to get there?
Honestly, it's just before Kenny got past me. As soon as he got past me, there's not really anything you can do to pass Kenny at a track like this. It was mostly just I had to be in control of the race. I had to do a better job on that restart where Steven really pipped me there, went up the track, and as soon as he went back down, we restarted, and I spun the absolute crap out of my tires, and he just zoomed on away, and that's really where it all went downhill.
Well, fantastic race. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, a long list of people. The good Lord, my parents, my amazing fiance, Jacqueline. You guys for putting on the show up here. You guys do a heck of a job. Lowell for putting the league together. Everybody who comes here into these races. Gargamel's Kitchen, they're a fantastic partner for us. My team, Different Path Motorsports, J.R. Shepard, my teammate didn't have quite the race he wanted, but good recovery on his part. So, yeah, just thank all the guys that run here.
There you have a fantastic job by Austin Belke to finish P2. Soup is caught up with a third-place finisher. That's Chris Davis, Mr. Aggressive. Let's see what he has to say.
Equally impressive for Austin Belke's drive through the field was his way of thanking the people at the end. It's almost like he was reading it off a list. And his beautiful fiancee, Jacqueline. Not only did he give an adjective for the fiancee, but gave the name as well. Chris Davis. He's a man who knows how to thank people. We'll talk about that at the end. Man, nice run, Chris. You just, I thought maybe that last green-white checkered in third, you might have a chance to get Belke.
Yeah, not really. Like I think I said under caution when you guys interviewed me, I was concerned about my right front, but I didn't want to go in deep and take out both him and Harden at the same time. That would have been good.
Now, did I hear you mention that you got through this race incident-free?
Oh no! I mean, there were definitely some bumps here and there. That first the first start, I went back and watched that. It looked like the outside lane doesn't go. I don't know if it was starting fourth or sixth. And then everyone started checking up, and we had an accordion effect, and I think JR got the worst of it.
I agree. When we saw it, I think it started, might have been Donnie Moore in the 26 might have been slow, and by the time it got back to you, and then it got to, the bumping kept getting worse at the end. Luckily, you were at the front of the accordion on that one. You got to feel good about third place, huh?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I knew this race was 100 laps. Usually it's go, and I was really trying to be cautious, keep my nose clean, and just let the race come to me. But it was hard to because, you'd get side by side and you didn't just want to necessarily give up a spot. So I was definitely racing people hard on the outside.
Well, it was fun watching you race. We'll see you down the line.
Well, thank you, guys. I do got to give a shout out to you. Ricky Harden, I don't think I've spoken with you up in the booth before, so I look forward to maybe doing that one night. Ryan for turning the knobs and sliding the levers. Awesome. Lowell, Jewel, as always, running this league. And you know something, Soup? There's a whole lot of people behind the scenes that volunteer their time, whether it's the IRT, putting together race reports, all the things that you guys do up in the booth. This doesn't happen without a whole lot of volunteers. So if you're not volunteering, ask everybody if you just put in $5, and that's how we keep you guys up there in the booth.
I do, and I appreciate that, and I agree with you. I've been doing the broadcasting for a long time, and it's always fun to broadcast a well-organized series, and that's what any Bootleg Racing League is. Congratulations, Chris. We'll see you down the road. Chris Davis, our third-place finisher today. The Podium Patrol is brought to you by Gargamel's Kitchen, a food-grade not-for-side provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit their office at 2045 South Valencia Street or give them a call at 720-707-60. Take a breath. 178. With that said, we'd like to tell you about the upcoming broadcast. If you like this one, well, Ricky and I are going to be back at this very same time next week. You're all literate, so you can see it on the screen right there when to go. Before then, don't want to miss. You heard an interview with Kenny Kibbe. You heard an interview with Austin Belke, and you saw J.R. Shepard get into trouble. Well, those three guys are in the booth for the Pretty Good Racing League, and that's going to be on Tuesday nights. The next one is going to be Tuesday, October 17th, 5:50 p.m. Eastern Time. That would be, let me correct myself, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:50 West Coast, 2:50 in Hawaii, and I think 11:50 in the night before if you're in Japan, for all of our Japanese viewers. With that said, we're going to hand you our hat, and we're going to say until next time, have fun storming the castle.